Okay, David, the stage is yours. See you later. Bye.
Okay, thank you very much. So hi everyone. So this is what I would like to present for Cathay Pacific. So this is not only about the digital review, it's actually about the journey of the digitalization for Cathay Pacific. Actually, the whole journey start with our in-house development of the EFF. So first of all, we have formed a strong team with technical experts, UX design experts, and also our product owner, which is one of our captains in Cathay Pacific. And then once the team is formed, then we start building our digital platform on the cloud. And with this digital platform, we integrate that with multiple systems to gather all the required information for our EFF application. So I just want to share here. So yeah, our EFF is not just only to replace the paper version of the flight plan, but is more like a single system for our pilots to get all the required information rather than going to different systems to get the information that they need. Okay. And then after the framework is created, then our UX designers also start to do his work on the front end design and what will be the best way to improve the user experience and make the application more user friendly. And then our developers start doing the development, and then finally the final product is the EFF application running on the iPads. Okay, and once the application is completed, then we launch the application to all our pilots. And all the pilots will be given iPad, and in the iPad it has a global roaming SIM card within the iPad, so it guarantees that our users will have a network connectivity all over the world. I mean, all over the world, anywhere, and then they will use that EFF in the iPad to start to interchange information with our cloud platform. And because of that, so it means no more paper is required. So everything will be replaced by that application running in the iPad. And here is a kind of a high-level milestone on the timeline that I would like to share with all of you. So first of all, we created our own EFF application by about the year of 2018. That's about the timeline that we launched the first version of our EFF application. And then by early 2019, we studied the feasibility of enable digital, and then we analysis for the possible technical approach, and then we decide, after all the study, then we decided to use A-Field as our integration hub. And by year 2020, in about March, we started a conversation with Shell, and then by June, then we started development. And by July, we already started the integration test and also the UAT. And by October, then is official launch or go live of the digital refueling with Singapore Shell. Okay, so here I would like to share with you about the whole fuel uplift process, and this is more specific for Cathay Pacific. So I'm not sure, how the other airline handle their fuel uplift process, but maybe some area will be in common. Okay, so first of all, our captain will fill in the request form at the cockpit area. And then our engineer will go up to the copy area to get the request form from the captain. After that, then the engineer will pass the request form to the into plane operator, and then the operator will start the fuel uplift based on the request. And then once the fuel uplift is completed, then the operator will pin out the receipt and then give it to the engineer, and then the engineer bring it up to the copy area and and give it to the captain, and then the captain review and then sign the receipt, and then a copy will be given back to the engineer, and then engineer bring the copy back to the operator, and then uplift completed and leave. So you can see that during the whole process, there quite a lot of manual effort and a lot of time spent on waiting and also walking around. Okay, so and also I would like to share with you the way how we get the data previously. I mean, or with the manual process. So first of all, after our captain has got the fuel receipt, he will insert that into the file envelope, and at the same time, he will enter the fuel figure into the FMC on the aircraft manually, and then the FMC will send the fuel uplift information through the ACAS message into our CX internal system. And when the aircraft come back to Hong Kong, then that envelope will be sent to one of our internal team, and that team is responsible to review the receipt and validate the data that the pilot has entered into the system manually, one by one. Because when the pilot entered the fuel uplift amount, sometimes it can have a manual error, maybe missing one zero, or having one extra zero, making a big difference. So we need to validate the receipt with the system. And once the validation is completed, then we need to find a location to do the filing of the receipt. And after all that's done, then our account can proceed with the payment settlement. Okay, with the new process, first of all, our pilot already got the iPad with the internet access and with the EFF application running. So our captain just need to submit the fuel uplift request from the EFF application, and then that request will go to the operator's iPad automatically. And once the iPad, the operator received the request, then they will start the fuel uplift. And at the same time, the Shell system will provide the fuel uplift milestone update to our system as well during the uplift. And once the fuel uplift is done, so once the fuel uplift is done, then the Shell operator will send the digital refuel summary to our captain through the system. Then our captain can review the summary in his iPad immediately, and then at the same time, the digital refuel summary will also send to our CX internal system immediately as well. So our captain accept the summary, and then the fuel uplift completed for Shell, and at the same time, our account can already settle the payment already, because there will be no validation required anymore because the number is not entered by our captain manually anymore. Okay, and this is about the future plan for Cathay Pacific. So on the left-hand side are all the airports that Cathay Pacific network has covered, and on the top is Singapore. And next to the airports, those are the into-plane agents, and Singapore is under Shell, and also for the other airports, we have other into-plane agents, and also at the bottom you can see Hong Kong, and Hong Kong, one of our into-plane agent is WFS. Okay, so and another layer next to the into-plane agent, each different agent use different solutions. For example, Shell use Skypack, and also some other company use EBITS or i6. And also for Hong Kong WFS, they actually use their in-house developed system for the digital review. And okay, so for our plan is all this system will integrate with a field hub. Okay, so for us, we do not need to do too much work to enable a new airport in the future. So for us, I think that the main work required is probably about the testing on the integration with the new airport to make sure that everything works correctly. And also for your information, for WFS, because they are creating their in-house developed system. So right now they are working closely with ID1 on that integration, and also ID1 has provided great support to WFS on that development. Okay, and this slide is about the benefits for Cathay Pacific. So the first one is not only about digital review, but also using the A-Field Hub service. The first benefit is one single integration point for CX, so we do not need to manage hundreds of integration points. So it really reduces us a lot of work. And also, according to the previous slide, you can see that it can actually help reduce the time required for the whole field uplift procedure. We actually have done some tests by ourselves by comparing with the manual process and the digital review process. Of course, the manual review process is the normal case. How long it will take for the engineer to go up and down. And by comparing to the digital review process, we find that it can save up to 15 minutes for the whole process. Yeah. So if, of course, if we have legwork and if everything work correctly as expected, but you can see that it can that's one of the big benefits for us. And also the third one is protect our crew from risk during the COVID-19 period, right? Because it can reduce the chance of direct contact. And the fourth one is reduce the time required to get the field uplift data into our system. In the previous slide, first of all, the pilot need to send the message through the ACAS into our system, but for us, we need to wait until the physical field uplift ticket to come back to the Hong Kong airport, and then for our service team to do the validation. And after all those process, then then we can confirm the data in our system is correct, and then our finance team or account team can start to settle the payment. And also, the next one is reduce the chance of human error, of course, and also the source required for the data validation. And the second last is reduce the field payment time, so that help increase the chance of bargaining for a better payment term. And also lastly, that is environment friendly. Reduce the number of paper being used. I think that is always good for the whole world. Okay, the next slide is about our challenges. Okay, so the first challenge that we experience is when we start it requires some learning curve at the very beginning, including trial and error. But once you have gone through the first phase, then everything start to speed up and accelerate. And the second one, the second challenge is we cannot guarantee our collectivity at all locations. But as what we mentioned previously, we always have the many process as our backup plan. And also the third one is, different company use different service provider with different system behavior and also integration channel. And so when we consider that this challenge, we decided to use ID1 as one single integration hub to help overcome this challenge. And the last one is the difficulty on handling multiple review agents at the same airports. For example, in Hong Kong, we have 3 review agents, and not all of them have already enabled the digital review. And it's hard to. So first of all, for our pilots, it's hard for them to know whether his flight should be using the traditional many process or using the new digital review process. Okay, that's for our pilots. And from an IT perspective, it's hard for us to determine, which review agent that we should send the request to. Yeah, so I think that's our current challenge. Hopefully there will be some solution in the future that can help us to overcome this issue. But anyway, I think that's all that I would like to share for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, David, for those insights. It was a really, really good presentation, as Romy already mentioned in the questions as well, to really see how the process on your side works. My message flow that I showed previously is one part of it, and as you already mentioned in the session, but how everything is processed on your side and how it is integrated into your systems, is also a different one. And I think you already covered Daniel's question from the business benefits very well on your last two slides. So Rami asking you that she's presuming that the electronic process also works through defueling in aircraft as well, and we both can I think agree on that this is of course possible. Yeah, Romy, so the AIDX scheme also allows to send out a fuel order message with the saying that this order is a defueling order. So this is as simple as making a normal fuel order. You can also make a defueling fuel order at the same time. One question from my side, David. So you mentioned the project you started in 2017, and how's the whole project progressing? So are you already completely done with it, or are you constantly revisiting it to implement new features and all that?
Yeah, so we actually implement like what I mentioned, right? By the year 2017, we launched the first version of our application. And actually, that is just the first phase of our project, and we actually just complete the second phase of our project by the end of 2020. And by May of this, by May of this year, we will start our phase 3 as well. So for us, is keep expanding. Yeah, one of the reasons for that is first of all, like what I mentioned at the very beginning, we are not just creating a new application. We actually created a new digital platform for the flight operation, and because of that, and also because our project is pretty successful, so a lot of other teams start to see the benefit of using our platform to help them to solve their existing issue as well, or they would like to get information from our system as well. So that's why if we are keep having keep expanding our project and adding new features, and also keep having a new phase for our project.